Good morning, everyone. Welcome to English class. I hope you all are fit and fine. In today's class, I am going to discuss pronouns with you. Children, in order to understand pronouns, you must know about the nouns first. Noun is the name of a person, place, thing, animal, feeling, etc. We can say name of everything, whether we can see that thing or not, but its name is called a noun. For example, happiness, boy, girl, book, etc. Now, when we are talking or conversing with someone about someone or something, we can't use the name of that person or thing every time. For example, if I am talking about Amit, one of my students, and I say, Amit is an intelligent boy. Amit works hard to score A+. Amit stands first in Amit's class. Amit's parents are proud of Amit. Now tell me, how did you feel when I was telling you about Amit? Was it interesting? No. Rather, the repetition of nouns or the names make the reader or the listener confused. So, in order to avoid repetition of the names, pronouns are used. So, pronoun is an important part of speech. Let's see what the pronouns are. The words which substitute or which are used in place of the nouns are called pronouns. The words used in place of the name of any person, place, thing, that is called a pronoun. See the example. I am going to take the same example as I had taken earlier. Amit is an intelligent boy. He works hard to score A+. He stands first in his class. His parents are proud of him. This piece of writing sounds better than the earlier one. Here, the highlighted words are the pronouns used in place of the name of the boy, Amit. Children, we frequently make use of pronouns in conversation. I give you an example. If someone asks you, how old are you? Tell me, while answering this question, do you name yourself? No. You simply answer, I am 12 years old. You use the pronoun I instead of your name. Same way, when you ask your friend to help you, you use the words, please help me. Here also you don't name yourself. Here me is the pronoun. So now it's clear to you that pronouns are the words used instead of a noun. For example, I, we, he, she, it, me, mine, etc. Children, now as it is clear to you that pronouns are the words used in place of a noun. And the noun for which a pronoun is used, that noun is known as antecedent. Antecedent. For example, Bob was late for class, so he had to hurry. In this sentence, he is the pronoun and it is used for Bob. So, Bob is antecedent. In the next sentence, the pronouns they is used in place of the names Michael and Mike. So, the group of words Michael and Mike is the antecedent. Now, depending upon their uses, pronouns are divided into different kinds. Personal pronouns, emphatic pronouns, reflexive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, relative pronouns, possessive pronouns, interrogative, indefinite pronouns. Let's discuss them in detail. First of all, we have personal pronouns. The pronouns used in place of the name of a person or thing are known as personal pronouns. For example, he, she, it, etc. There are three personal pronouns. First person pronoun, second person pronoun, and third person pronoun. First person pronouns are the pronouns used for the speaker. For example, I, we. I indicates that the speaker is alone, and we shows more than one person including speaker. Second person pronouns are the pronouns used for the listener. For example, you. Whether the noun is singular or plural, second person pronoun used is you only. Then comes third person pronoun. These are the pronouns used for the person or the thing being talked about. If here I am talking to you about Amit, then I am the speaker, first person. You, the students, are listening to me. You are the second person. And we are talking about Amit. And the pronoun used for Amit is he. So he is the third person pronoun. Now personal pronouns are of two types: subjective pronouns and objective pronouns. Children, in order to understand these pronouns, you must understand the subject and object in a sentence. Subject is the doer of the action, the person who performs the action, and object is the receiver of the action, upon whom action is performed. For example, I purchased a laptop. Here, purchased is the action done. Who performed the action? I. So, I is the subject here. And what did I buy? A laptop. So, a laptop is the object here. Let's see what the subjective and objective personal pronouns are. If the pronoun acts as a subject, then that is the subjective personal pronoun. For example, I, he, she in the given sentences are the subject of those sentences. So they are the subjective personal pronouns. Next is objective personal pronouns. These are used as an object of the sentence. You know that in a sentence, an object is the person or the thing who receives the action, upon whom action is done. For example, me and it in the given sentences are the example of objective personal pronouns. After personal pronouns, we have possessive pronouns. These are the pronouns which show possession or ownership. In simple words, the pronouns which indicate to whom a particular thing belongs to. They are the possessive pronouns. For example, whose car is this? It's mine. So mine is the possessive pronoun. Children, difference between possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives should be clear to you, as these both show ownership. For example, they are his keys. These keys are his. In the both sentences, the words his shows possession, that the keys belong to the boy. But in group A, his is the possessive adjective, and in group B, it is possessive pronoun. If you observe carefully, you will notice that in column A, his is followed by a noun, keys. So it is an adjective. And in column B, it is not followed by a noun. Rather, it is used in place of a noun. So it is possessive pronoun. We can say, if in any possessive word is followed by a noun, then it is possessive adjective. And if it is used in place of a noun, then it is possessive pronoun. Next, we have demonstrative pronouns. The words this, that, these, those are used as demonstratives. They point out a particular person or thing being talked about. For example, this is very heavy. Here, the word this is used in place of a noun, maybe for a box or something else. So it is demonstrative pronoun. The words, same words, this, that, these, those are also used as demonstrative adjectives. The difference is same, as I have told you earlier, that if these words are used before a noun, then they are the demonstrative adjectives. But if they are used in place of a noun, then that they are pronouns. See the example. This box is heavy. Here the word this is used before the box, noun, so it is demonstrative adjective. Then there are interrogative pronouns. As the word interrogative indicates that these pronouns are used to ask questions. For example, who is your favorite athlete? See in examples. The interrogative words who, whom, whose, what, which are used to ask questions. They are the interrogative pronouns. Same words, which, whose, etc. are used both as adjectives and pronouns. And I hope the difference should be clear to you by now. If they are followed by a noun, they are the interrogative adjectives. Otherwise, they are used in place of a noun. Then they are pronouns. As in example, you can see adjectives which, what are followed by a noun, but the pronouns are used in place of the noun. Next kind of pronouns are emphasizing or intensive pronouns. Children, you would have seen that some pronouns end in self or selves. For example, myself, ourselves, yourself, themselves, herself, himself, etc. If these pronouns are used to emphasize their subject, then these are the emphasizing or intensive pronouns. See an example. I myself saw him. Here, myself is used to emphasize that the work was done by the subject itself. It was me only who saw him. No one else did it. Same way, in the next sentence, herself is used to emphasize that the concert was organized by her only, not by anyone else. So, herself in the next sentence is emphatic or intensive pronoun. In next sentence, it is emphasized that the president himself, that means it was the president only who denied the rumor. So, himself is the emphatic pronoun. Now, after emphatic pronouns, we have reflexive pronouns. These pronouns ending in self and selves are also used as reflexive pronouns. These pronouns are used as an object of the subject. As a mirror shows a reflection, the reflexive pronouns show back to the noun for which it is used. For example, I saw myself in the mirror. Here, the verb is saw and subject is I. Now, to find out the object, ask the question, whom did I see? It is myself. So, myself is the object in the sentence. That's why it is reflexive pronoun. It is placed as an object, so it is reflexive pronoun. More example of reflexive pronouns are the pronouns ending in self and selves are used both as emphatic or intensive pronouns and reflexive pronouns. Let me explain you how to differentiate between both. If any of these pronouns is used to emphasize that the action is performed by the subject itself, action is performed by the subject itself, then that is the emphasizing pronoun. If these pronouns act as an object of the sentence, that is, they are the receiver of action, then they are the reflexive pronouns. I am telling you again that if the pronouns ending in self and selves are used to emphasize that the action is performed by the subject itself, then they are the emphatic or intensive pronouns. But if those pronouns are used as an object or they are the receiver of the action, then they are the reflexive pronouns. For example, she herself told me the truth. Here, herself is emphasizing that I was told the truth by her only, No one else told me the truth. It was she only who told me the truth. So here herself is the emphatic pronoun. In this sentence, herself is not used as an object. If I ask the question, whom did she tell the truth? Answer is me. So the object in this sentence is me, not herself. So herself is the emphatic pronoun. Next sentence is, she looked herself in the mirror. Now in this sentence, herself is the object. Ask the question, whom did she look in the mirror? Herself. So here herself is the reflexive pronoun. So it's clear now that reflexive pronouns are used as an object, that is the receiver of action in a sentence, and emphasizing pronouns are used to emphasize the action done by the subject only. Then we have relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are the pronouns used after the noun itself to make it clear which person or thing is being talked about. These pronouns are used to join the sentences and show the relation with the noun for which it is used. For example, I know the man who is a fighter. See here, the pronoun who is used for the man, and it is used after the man only. So relative pronouns are used after the noun for whom it is used. Some more examples of relative pronouns are, next, there are reciprocal pronouns. One another and each other. These two are the reciprocal pronouns. These are used when two or more people do same thing. For example, the boys are fighting with one another. Tina and Mary are talking to each other. If two persons are being talked about, we use each other. And if more than two persons are being talked about, one another is used. Then there are indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns are used for someone who is not specific. Means the pronouns don't talk about a particular person or thing. For example, someone is knocking at the door. We don't know who is there. So someone is the indefinite pronouns. Now indefinite pronouns using some. For example, somebody, something or someone. These pronouns are used in the positive sentences. For example, someone is knocking at the door. I want something to eat. But indefinite pronouns using any, that is anything, anyone or anywhere. These are used in interrogative sentences or negative sentences. For example, hello, is anybody there? Distributive pronouns. These pronouns denote a person or thing one at a time. These pronouns don't consider the persons or things collectively. Rather, the things and persons are considered individually. That's why distributive pronouns are always singular and they take the singular verb. For example, one, either, each, neither, etc. in the given sentences are used as distributive pronouns. It's revision time now. Pronouns are the words used in place of nouns. And the nouns for which pronouns are used, they are called antecedent. Example of pronouns are he, she, it, they, etc. Now kinds of pronouns. Personal pronouns are used for the speaker, listener, and for the one being talked about. Then demonstrative pronouns, they point out the particular person or thing. For example, this, that, these, those. Possessive pronouns show possession or ownership, that is, to whom a particular thing belongs. For example, mine, yours, theirs, hers, etc. We don't use apostrophe before s in the possessive pronouns. Then interrogative pronouns ask questions. For example, who, whom, where, etc. These should be used in place of noun only. Then emphatic pronouns. The pronouns ending in selves are used as emphatic or reflexive pronouns. If they are used for emphasis, then the pronouns are emphatic pronoun. And if the pronouns are used as the receiver of action, that is, action is done upon them, then they are the reflexive pronoun. After them, relative pronouns. These pronouns join the sentences and are used after the noun only. Words like who, which, whom, whose, etc. work as interrogative pronouns as well as relative pronouns. Only difference is that when they join the sentences, then they are the relative pronouns, and if they ask the questions, they are the interrogative pronouns. Reciprocal pronouns are used when two or more persons do the same thing. For example, each other, one another. Then we have indefinite pronouns. They are used when the noun is not specific. For example, someone. Distributive pronouns consider the member of group individually, not collectively. For example, each, either, etc. So this was all about pronouns. Hope the topic is clear to you. Thank you very much.